Today, I'm going to show you the ultimate guide to the new ChatGPT Codex app, taking you from a total beginner to a total pro. Codex is the strongest available AI tool out there right now, especially with its new GPT 5.5 model. The benchmarks show that it's significantly stronger than Claude and Gemini and is able to do more tasks with higher accuracy. This is an AI tool that can do everything, create anything, and even use your computer for you. For context, I've been building in the AI space for the past 2 years, and today I'm the founder of Hooked AI, an AI app for YouTube creators. I spend pretty much all my time testing out AI tools and finding out which ones are actually useful for building real products and businesses. So after testing out Codex for the past week, I can safely say that it feels like a significant step up from anything we've seen before. So let's get right into it, with the first thing being how to download Codex, and then we'll learn how to use it. If you already have Codex, you can just skip to this timestamp, but for now, let's get into it. So first thing we want to do is open up chatgpt.com/codex, and then we'll be greeted with this page. And what we want to do is click download for Mac OS. So after you click download for Mac OS, what you want to do is click on this Codex icon right here and drag it into your applications folder. So next, let's get through their onboarding real quick. We can select what type of work we do. Let's say we're doing engineering or product or even marketing. Press continue. So now if you have a ChatGPT account already, we can select to bring in some of our projects and tools. So let's click continue. And now we have access to our ChatGPT Codex. So typically when you log in for the first time, it'll ask you to give it access to a bunch of your documents and folders. I typically just allow it because it allows Codex to do a bunch of different work throughout your computer. And after you give it access, you'll be greeted with this page, which is your new chat page. So this page is pretty much where you start any of your new projects, and getting familiar with this interface is very important. So up here on the top left, we have our new chat button, which basically means you start a new chat. Here is our search bar in order to search for any of your old chats. Next, we have our plugin section, which is something I'll get into deeper later on in the video, but pretty much it's a place where you can connect a ton of different apps into Codex. And next we have our automations page, which allows you to set up different scheduled tasks. So for example, if you want Codex to read your email and send you a report every 9 a.m., you can tell it to do that and it'll automatically happen every morning. So as you can see on the left side, I also have my projects and my chats. So projects are basically different folders that you can work in. So for example, if I'm working on a specific app, website, or anything else, you can keep everything related to that in a project, which gives Codex access to a ton of information related to what you're working on. And then we have our chat section, which is for anything you want Codex to do on the fly or anything you ask it in general. Now here we can either select to work on a project, and if you don't select any projects, it'll just open up a new chat. We can also decide what permissions we want to give Codex. So the default permissions means it's running in a secure sandbox and doesn't have too much access to your computer. Auto review basically means that Codex asks you to review certain tasks that might be more sensitive, and full access just gives Codex access to your entire computer. Now right here on the right side, we can choose which model we want. We're currently on 5.5, and you have the options of choosing low, medium, high, or extra high. I typically work in high as it doesn't take too many tokens and is pretty good when it comes to reasoning and completing tasks. And last but not least, here on the left side, we have our plus button, which allows you to add photos, files, go into plan mode, or choose which plugins you want to work with. So the way to think about this is as if Codex was your teammate and has access to anything that is software related. If you give it the right access, it can check your Google Drive, manage your email, create your website, or even run your online marketing. For today's demo, we'll be building a quick landing page. We'll also have Codex test out the landing page and tell us where we need to improve. Then we'll have Codex create a full-on marketing plan in our Google Drive, and then it'll also create a video for us. So in order to achieve that, we first need to set up our connectors. And as I mentioned, this is how you give Codex access to different tools such as computer use, browser use, presentations, GitHub, Slack, your Gmail, Google Drive, and anything else that is a software. Now here's a list of all the connectors and skills that I have. So as you can see, they are right here. And if you want to follow along, the ones I recommend for this specific video is the GitHub one, the computer use one, the browser use one, and the HyperFrames by HeyGen one. Now those are super simple to set up. All you have to do is just click the plus button and it'll guide you through it. So now that everything is set up, let's start up a new chat. And let's create a simple landing page for an AI newsletter business. We'll instruct Codex to make it modern, clean, beginner friendly, and also include a headline, subheadline, email sign-up box, feature section, and a call to action button. We'll also use plan mode first so we can plan out the implementation, and then we'll go from there. Let's add a quick name for the newsletter. So we'll say, let's call the newsletter Omri's AI newsletter. And let's make sure we use a green color scheme. Then we'll press send and see what Codex does. Cool, so now Codex gave us a plan for our AI newsletter landing page. And this is pretty much what Codex will refer to when building out our project. So it says build a simple landing page in the empty workspace for Omri's AI newsletter with a modern, clean, beginner-friendly green visual style. The screen will focus on the newsletter value proposition, sign up, and a clear call to action. So this is pretty much what the AI will do. We'll click yes, implement the plan, and now it's going to build out our landing page. So as you can see right here, Codex 5.5 also has access to the new GPT image 2, which is the best image generation model out there. So it'll use it in order to create different things for you. And there we go, we have our new landing page that Codex created for us. Now Codex has its own browser if you give it access to the browser use, and it can scroll and test things out. So as you can see, it's taking screenshots of the landing page in order to verify that the work it did is actually accurate. So as you can see right here, it comes up with a test that it needs to do, which is test the sign up, and it tries to click the button. Cool, so now that we have our landing page, we can decide to host it somewhere, but what we want to do next is actually add an automation. So what we want to do is click right here on the 3 dots and click add automations. And then we'll ask Codex to create an AI newsletter that includes simple lessons that are useful and practical for our readers, pull recent information from articles, YouTube videos, and any other place where AI information might be, and compile it into a final email that is easily digestible and actionable for the readers. So now that we have the prompt right here, what we want to do is click this button right here and choose, let's say, daily at 9 a.m. We can click save, and once we have that set up, we'll go back to the automations, click right here, and then in order to test it out, we can click run now. So now as you can see, it is running automatically once it's triggered. So obviously, since we selected 9 a.m., it'll run again and again and again at 9 a.m. every single day and give you a new newsletter to send out to your audience. Now we can also add another automation that can send out the email automatically to our email list. And all you have to do for that is just do the same thing we just did, click new automation, and ask Codex to send the email that it comes up with to our list. Now while it's coming up with the newsletter, we can actually see that the design of the landing page could use some improvements. So as we know, we have to ask Codex to improve it. So either in a new chat or within the project, you can tell Codex to go over the landing page you created, look at the UI, which is the user interface, read the copy, which is the written material, and check for anything else that could be improved. Once you found a list of things that need to be improved, go ahead and make the improvements. And let's kick off this prompt, and looks like our newsletter is done. So as you can see right here, Codex made a newsletter. Subject, this week in AI, tools are becoming teammates. Seems like it's the topic we're talking about right now. The big shift this week is simple. AI is moving from answering questions to helping finish real work. Exactly what we're doing now. Hi there, this week's AI news has one clear theme. AI tools are becoming less like chat boxes and more like work partners. So it came up with a couple different topics. So GPT 5.5, what we're going over today, it's talking about how it can plan out different tasks and execute them. Next, it's talking about Claude's Opus 4.7 when it comes to completing long and complex tasks. And just as we asked for, we wanted it to give the users an actionable thing to do. So it gave them a template of a prompt. Now, while it's improving the landing page in our other chat, let's actually come up with a marketing plan for this email newsletter. So since we connected it to our Google Drive, we can say, create a new Google Doc with a full marketing plan for this newsletter. So let's kick off this prompt with the Google Doc and see what it does. Now, since it has access to your Google Drive and is currently making a new Google Doc, it can also make new Google Slides, new Google Sheets, and anything that you can use Google Drive for. Codex pretty much has access to it and can use it as if it was a human. Now, going back to where Codex is improving our landing page, as you can see, there's a little cursor right here. So sometimes you'll see it around the Codex app and sometimes you'll see it around your computer. Now let's go back and see what Codex cooked up when it comes to the marketing plan. So as you can see right here, it sent us a link to a Google Drive. We'll click open right here. So as you can see, it came up with a 12-page marketing plan for our AI newsletter. So executive summary, basically it's saying Omri's AI newsletter is a beginner-friendly email publication that helps curious professionals, founders, students, and everyday learners understand AI through simple lessons, practical tools, and actionable examples. 100% accurate. So here it gives us everything we need to know in order to market this newsletter correctly. And it goes into a ton of details about every single thing we need to do. But yeah, the goal of this is to show you that it not only can create apps and different things like that, is that it can actually come up with strategy for everything you need around your business, around your product, around everything else related to your goals. Now, as we can see here, after asking it to improve our landing page, it did a ton of work for a whole 10 minutes and improved every single aspect of it. So it improved the copy, it improved the visuals, and it made it a lot easier to use. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we added a connector called HyperFrames by HeyGen, which is a simple connector that allows you to create motion graphics and promo videos using Codex. So now that we have our improved landing page, let's make a small marketing video. Now you can choose to have it add a voiceover or not. For this example, we won't be adding a voiceover, but you can do that later on your own or ask Codex to do it. Use HeyGen HyperFrames in order to create a roughly 30-second promo video for this AI newsletter. The motion graphics should tease something about the new Codex with GPT 5.5 and entice the viewer to sign up for the newsletter. Maybe a 5-step showcase of different things you can do with Codex. Make sure the color scheme is the same color scheme as the newsletter, and make sure that none of the graphics are overlapping on the top of each other. Cool, so now that we have the prompt, we'll fire it off and have it create a quick promo video for our newsletter. Okay, so after working for 12 minutes, Codex came up with our video. It tested it, it watched it over, fixed anything that was weird, and this is what it came up with. And this is just from the one prompt that we gave it. A calmer way to keep up with AI, which is what we have on our newsletter. The upgrades are moving fast. The newsletter turns them into practical things you can actually try. What changed, what matters, what to try next. Plain English context for busy beginners, builders, and curious teams. Let's play it and see what it looks like. Cool, so this is a 30-second promo video that you can add music on top of, you can add a voiceover, you can add it to an editing software and add a recording of you talking about the topics and put it on top of you if you're recording for social media. And now you have a full marketing asset just by using Codex. So if you want to go even further, it has access to the new GPT-2 image model, which it can use to create different social media carousels promoting your product. But yeah, the point of this tutorial wasn't to just have you copy what I'm doing, but more of letting you test things out and figure out how to use it in your own way. Now, if you got through all of this, you pretty much have an understanding of the capabilities of Codex. But what I would take from this video is the fact that it has pretty much unlimited capabilities, and all you have to do is try something out, test it, iterate, and create something of your own. With the new 5.5, it seems like it's able to do a ton of different tasks that it wasn't able to do accurately before. But yeah, hopefully you guys were able to follow along and expand your horizons when it comes to using Codex. Now, as you know, there are new AI updates every single week. And on this channel, we cover everything when it comes to AI, business, finance, and more. If you made it this far, we have some resources down in the description that might help you out. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next time.